Well. You're listening to Gloves Off with Professor Buitrón. Alright then, I may say words on point, straightforward. No jibber jabber, everybody forward. Issues, facts and solution. Get it at Gloves Off with Professor Buitrón. Alright, what other thing is a revolution? Get it on point with Professor Buitrón. Gloves Off, no nonsense issues, politics, community. A better men follow reader. Gloves Off, a revolutionary show with everything that you need to know. With Professor Buitrón. Watch ya!
The following political paid advertisements do not reflect the political opinions of the program or its associates. Any political campaign or candidate who wishes to purchase advertising can do so. Advertising is open to all on behalf of Gloves Off.
Back at you in Gloves Off, and I'm Professor Buitrón. I'm here with Patricia Barrera, and she's running for Webb County Tax Assessor in a runoff, which will probably be in June, as we hear.
July the 6th.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
How's it been?
It's been good. It's quiet though. A lot of people, well, with everything that's going on, really nobody's concentrating on politics.
Absolutely.
Or anything. And I run into people and they don't realize that there is a runoff. So I've been telling people, and that it was moved from May 26th to Tuesday, July, I believe it's the 14th or the 16th. And early voting begins on Monday, July the 6th, and it goes on till Friday, July the 10th, and then it's Tuesday, July the 14th. That's the election.
That's the election.
Yeah.
How do you feel? How do you think people are going to come back in after all this
I believe
uprising?
so.
People are going to come back in and say, you know what, we have to get this stuff done with more energy, or how do you see that?
Well, the concern is the environment, the way we're in right now, with coronavirus. And I ran into a lady at Sam's, and she said, I want you back, we want you back, especially the seniors. We need you back in there. But the problem, they may not go out to vote because of the virus thing, And so what we're asking people is that if you went in person and voted during the primary, you can request for a ballot and get it at home. And you can vote at home in the comfort and safety of your home.
Sure. I think that was, there's a lot of things about this whole thing. There's conspiracy theories left and right and going left, and they do say that was this whole pandemic or scamdemic, as many are calling it, was basically for the purpose of disrupting the election.
Correct.
And if that's the case, that's some really evil way of thinking, to put people in danger. But
Well, not only in danger,
in lives.
I mean, lives have been lost.
In danger, period. And what happens, Ms. Barrera, is are people really going to trust the mail-in ballots?
Well, there's always been concerns about the mail-in ballots. As long as you don't give it to anybody, I don't see a problem. It's when, what they call the harvesting, when somebody goes and collects them for you and that they'll mail it, you know. That is, I believe, when the issue of they may be doing something with the ballots. But if you receive it at home, you vote it, you close it, you sign it, you endorse it, and you close the envelope, and you put the stamp, and either you take it to the post office or when your mailman comes, you give it to them. I don't see a danger there.
Okay.
The danger is when somebody says, I'll take it in for you.
How can we stop that? Is there ways now, because apparently the whole United States is looking into, because of the virus,
Right.
looking into the mail-in votes, right?
Right.
So how are we going to be able to control that? How can we, let's put it this way, how can we report the fraud that will go in there if it is happening?
Well, you have to know the person who's picking them up to identify them. So, and I don't know that many people would identify them, you know, because they don't see anything wrong. They probably know the individual and they release them, and they've probably been doing it for years. Okay, so it's going to be very hard, that's for sure, you know, and you know, and then the danger is when they get the ballots, when they're opening them up to count the ballots, if somebody looks at the signature and doesn't believe it's right, they may throw it out even before they even open the ballots when they receive them and the signature. And you have to understand that a lot of these are older individuals. They're on medication. They may have signed the first form when they did the application for the ballot at home. They may have taken their medication or they may not have. So their signature's not the same. And I don't believe any two people ever sign identical, you know? So, and here you have lay people becoming like FBI agents that are experts in signatures and saying this does not match this signature, you know? And the only time I believe is when the medication, either it's wearing off or they just took it and they can use their hand, you know, they're not shaking. You know, there's different things, you know, with the elderly. And unfortunately, a lot of those ballots do get thrown out, and they may be legit.
Sure. You know, you've raised some great questions that are out there that need to be looked into, you know, because it is going to affect the elections throughout.
Yeah.
Usually runoff elections, the voter turnout diminishes.
Very much, very much. I think if we get 1/3, we'll be doing great. You know, if we get like 10,000 people to go out to vote, it'll be, I think, awesome. But it is important. Unfortunately, there's only 2 races. The one for JP, that's only the old Laredo,
right?
And
yours?
and my race, which is countywide. So
and yours, you know, so there's
I do believe it's going to be a problem, but I also believe that in the case of my race, and it'll help the JP race, there's a lot of people that are interested in a change because they've been frustrated, they've been insulted in the way they've been treated. I know that she likes to say that she treats her employees well, she treats her customers well. It's not the truth. You know, it's one thing to say it and it's another thing to do it.
Absolutely. I think
so. I think a lot of people want a change. They expected it to happen in March. It didn't. We were 3. So, but the reality is she got less votes. You know, she got over 3,000 less votes. So between me and Ms. Valdez, we got over, I think 16,000, and she got like 13,000. So we there would have been a change, okay? So I believe that people are going to take the time to go and vote. The problem is there gonna be the distancing at that time? What issues are still gonna be lingering? Now, they say that when the heat comes, this virus should disseminate, it should cease. And then they say for November, it should come back up because it's cold, and that's where it thrives. It doesn't thrive in the hot weather.
You know, I look at the whole entity. I think this is something that we're going to live with throughout. And us as a nation should start understanding when we're going to start back. Because it is affecting not only the elections, it is affecting the whole broad against everything.
The economy is devastated right now. Now, are we going to be able to come back? Obviously, business will not be like usual. That, I think, is going to come to an end. How drastic, I don't know. But I think that certain customs or habits that we had are not going to be acceptable, in the new environment. And especially if they believe that this virus can come back and will come back in the fall and winter. Hopefully by then they have a vaccine, the testings will be better, And the other thing that they're saying, are you going to be checking everybody if they have a fever? Have those guns and check them?
A lot of things are going to come of age. There's, and I don't really want to go into the viruses per se, but I think us as understanding, we changed. From this day forward, we changed. We have to be a little bit more safety oriented. I think we became very much accustomed to a lot of things.
Yeah.
I think now we have to be more safety oriented. I mean, we have to go in. We've lived with flus and chicken pox and measles and so on and so forth. And
we have the swine flu, remember?
Yeah. You had the Hong Kong flu, you had the Spanish flu, you had a bunch of those, the yellow fever.
The SARS that they call
The
it.
SARS that came in, MERS that came in.
Yeah.
So what gets me is when those that killed way more,
Right.
we didn't shut down. So here it kind of makes people wonder. And
Well,
they lost the trust of what I'm gathering with people. They lost the trust in the government, period, throughout. The main thing. They don't trust anything government right now. And I think I understand the rationale, but I think that this is going to hurt a lot of processes throughout the government, both in the municipality, in the county, in the state, and federal. People are going to be very leery about the government from now on.
well, like wearing the mask. We're socially distanced right
Sure.
now, so I'm safe.
Yeah.
But-
And for people out there to know, I designed this, and this right here is 12 feet, so you can make your math.
Yeah. So, anyway, I drive in my car, I take it off,
Sure.
okay? And yet they're saying that some are being pulled over because they don't have their mask on. I'm by myself. I'm in my car, isolated. I mean, why do I need a mask if I'm by myself? Now, before I get out, I put it on, So, anyway,
Well, what do you think?
excuse me.
What new things are you going to try to do for this to get people motivated to go out and vote on your behalf? Because I think right now it's going to be which one knows more, and let's grab them, let's take them to vote. So how are you going to produce that?
Well, we're registering people. We didn't realize how many people we knew that weren't registered, so we've done that. We've since the primary was over, we started and we continue doing that. We're telling people if they're over 65 that they can vote at home, and basically that's what we're doing. And hopefully more people will be able to vote from the house if they have to, because that is going to be the biggest fear, especially as they're older, that they're more susceptible because their immune systems are lower and they have more issues, physical issues, in their health. So we're trying to address that and say there is a way you can vote and your vote will count, you know. And then just motivating people and telling them we have 5 days, Monday through Friday, for the early voting. And that's really when you want to go and vote, because if you wait for election day, you can only go to one place to vote. So unless they do some changes on that. I don't know, there's talk of that, just like there's talk about everybody voting from home, the ballot, a mail-in ballot, so.
Here's a question I might ask. In your race, it's only both of you, but
Right.
both Democrats. Couldn't they just say, you know what, we're gonna vote for you guys in November?
Well,
When more people are out?
in areas like Webb County where there is really no Republican challenger, we could easily do that. But I don't know that they'll do that, you know. I don't know. I don't know if they'll make those exceptions in November.
Because that to me, I think would be a lot better, you know, those those races like that you have.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else is running, there's no other opposition from the
No.
Republican Party.
No.
Put those two and everybody can vote Republican, or it's one ballot in November anyway. And let people go as they wish.
The problem is, like Bear County, there is a vibrant Republican Party, just like there's a Democrat Party. They will have, you know,
Sure.
for those positions, somebody.
But it can come out in another county that you have two Republicans for
Yeah.
runoff, and you can put them both in there. If there's only two people,
Yeah,
then I don't see why they cannot, you know. That's something that should be asked.
yeah, the legislature needs to look into that and see if, the other thing is you have to ask if nationally you can do that, because it is a presidential ballot. I think if it was the governor's ballot, then I think the state could could be able to do things like that. But since it's a presidential ballot, I don't know. Because remember, you're gonna go and ask, oh no, it's only in the primary where they ask you Democrat or Republican, that's right.
No, not here.
You're gonna, yeah, once it's
a general,
November,
it's, anybody can
yeah,
go in there.
it's
so.
the same ballot. They're
It's the
gonna
same
give you-
ballot.
Right,
And here, this November, you're gonna have school districts, college, city,
city council,
county, and
the national.
national.
Mm.
So you're gonna have a whole bunch. It's gonna be a ballot that's gonna be very, very thick. And then you
Yeah.
have a lot of propositions going in there and amendments and all kinds of stuff that they're putting in there. So it's gonna be a long process for voting. Well, we wish you the best.
Thank you very much, and
Wish you the best.
I do want to tell people that when we win and we go into office on January 2021, the office will be different. Now, we worked through the swine flu, we worked through SARS, and we were working, okay? We were open. I know it's been very drastic what's happening, and unfortunately, there's a lot of people that have bought cars, not from a dealer, because the dealer transfers, they're doing them, but individuals, and they're using their car that they bought. Well, they bought it so they could use it, and they don't have plates. So it's really right now a situation that a lot of people have invested in a vehicle and cannot use it legally, or they're hoping that a policeman doesn't stop them. So,
Absolutely.
you know, so once we go into office in the name of Jesus, it's going to be different. We're going to go back to, it's all about the service.
Well, we have to start. That's a great quote and great words, all about the service.
Yeah,
And we have to start bringing back service.
That's right.
Opening, and we have to move forward. Folks,
yeah.
it's about time, and I want to thank Ms. Barrera. And for you all, start researching the candidates, each and every one, especially in this time. Research the ones that became very tyrannical. Also, research the ones that shut your business now.
Yeah.
And if they're up in ballot, vote them out. We don't need people like that in there. We call them non-essential public officials. So until next time.
following political paid advertisements do not reflect the political opinions of the program or its associates. Any political campaign or candidate who wishes to purchase advertising can do so. Advertising is open to all on behalf of Gloves Off.